Don't just live for tomorrow, or just live in yesterday. Just be glad for all you have that's in today. And though you've come through many obstacles.
Hey everyone, Connie here, and welcome to my blind reaction to Adventure Time episodes 21 plus, maybe? I don't know. We're gonna do as much as I feel is right today. Whether that just be 1 or 2 episodes, or 3, or whatnot. But keep in mind, no matter where we end today, we are on a limited set here. As I have stated before, I'm kind of cutting a lot of shows in parts in order to avoid burnout and stuff, because I hate getting burnout on shows. So, in order to keep that with this season of Adventure Time, just to be safe, I'm cutting it basically in half from where I started up again. So that means after episode 27, I am taking a break from Adventure Time Season 6 and getting to something else, and then coming back to Adventure Time. So, yeah. That's pretty much how it's going. And we're starting with 21 here, so there's only a limited amount of episodes till we get there. And again, we will come back to Adventure Time right after. I'm not going to wait years again. But we are going to do something in between as well. And there are some shows that I could possibly avoid burnout with. Like Adventure Time might be one that I could probably actually get through a little easier. But I just don't want to risk it, and I don't want Adventure Time to start becoming a chore for me to watch, like other shows have been in the past. I want to enjoy the show, and I want to very much keep enjoying the show. So I think it's just better to be safe rather than sorry. So we'll cut it off after episode 27. We'll watch something else, and then come back to Adventure Time. Finish out Season 6, then probably watch something else again before we get into Season 7. And then when we do Season 7, we'll probably have maybe a little bit more of a break, I guess you could say. Or we'll have the break, but it will probably take maybe a little longer to get to. Just because, yeah, these are half-length episodes, and hopefully after the holidays are over, I can really start getting to multiples of these more consistently each week. Obviously, I haven't been able to do that during the holidays. Today I can get to multiple, but yeah, we'll just see. We'll just see how it all goes down. But yeah, I am definitely interested to see where this goes. Last time we got Jake the Brick, and it was pretty good. It was pretty good. I feel like it might be an underrated episode, and according to like some comments and stuff and what I've heard, apparently some people don't like the episode, and it's kind of weird to me. Some people are like just underwhelmed by it or something. It's like, did you not get the point behind it? Did you not understand what it was trying to say? Because it very much was trying to say something. Just about, like, the concepts of what we find to entertain ourselves, along with just the simplicity of things and how that can affect us and our own desires for home over other desires we may tend to have. Stuff like that. And it's like it was very impactful and powerful in a lot of ways. So I really did like it. Um, Plus, it seemed like it was including like pretty much everyone in it, like all of these characters we've met practically, and it was really fun in that regard. I also watched it again, watching Rarity Dash's reaction back when he did reactions for the most part. Nowadays, he just puts up a random video here and there. Um, and I mean, it seemed like he got massive burnout from being so consistent with his uploads and stuff. And I don't blame him a bit. It's just, it's sad because I really did love his reactions so much. um, and he just hasn't been putting up the stuff he has been putting up lately has been nothing I'm even kind of interested in. Like a lot of VTuber stuff, which does not at all interest me. So, and again, he's fine to put that up. It's his content. It's just, I'm just saying. But either way, so yeah, obviously, as always, I don't know what to actually talk about the episodes going into this because they're so episodic that you never know what's going to happen. There's no sense of real continuity with this. And honestly, with the way Adventure Time tends to be, it's almost impossible to predict anything because it's so just completely random half the time. Like, there's been episodes where you start and the episode's about one thing, and then you end when the episode ends, it's so completely changed that it almost seems like a different episode. And it's like it works for Adventure Time. Like, the creators and the animators and voice actors and everyone who works on this has made it work. Like, excellently so. But there's no doubt that it does kind of make consistently discussing it like this a little difficult, at least. So, there's not really much I can say because there's no ongoing story to talk about, and again, no clue where it's going to head. So, I think at this point, it's just best to get into these. As I said, I don't know exactly how many episodes we're going to get to today. It's just, we're just going to kind of take it as it is. If I feel like 2 episodes is good after that point, then we'll end there. If I feel like I can go on to 3 or 4, we'll take it as it goes. So, in the meantime, tell me down below, what do you think would be a happy number to go with once I do consistently start reacting to these again, probably after the holidays? Do you think 3 or 4 would be best? Probably one of those, I'm thinking. I'm kind of leaving it up to you, though. And this is once I probably get into season 7, or maybe the second half of the season 6 stuff I got here to do. So, yeah, actually, it'll probably be the second half of season 6 stuff, just based on time. Yeah, it would have to be. But either way, once I get to that and am able to start doing things more consistently, yeah, do you think 3 or 4 episodes would be good? Because if I am going to try to make it consistent, I want to make it consistent. Try to do the same amount each week. Let me know down below. And let's get this going. So when the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades to black, then fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the episodes. So, that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1 now. So, I'm not 100% sure if this was where it first revealed Flame Princess's like name being Phoebe. I don't know if I assume I just had to have heard it somewhere else before. I assume I probably heard it online or something. And as I've said in the past, there's a lot of stuff about Adventure Time that I knew even before ever starting to watch it. So there's quite a bit of information that I have known about, and sometimes with as much of this series as there is, and especially with as long as a break as I took between uh, episodes with 3 year break there. It's hard to remember exactly what I've seen and what is just stuff I already knew about. Um, Outside of things that obviously could not have happened yet, like stuff with the finale and all. Like that, I obviously know I haven't actually seen. Um, so I'm thinking I probably just already knew about Flame Princess's name being Phoebe. Um, so yeah, it's just one of those things that I just already knew and probably forgot that I already knew. Um, so yeah. That being said, these were two very different episodes in terms of tone, style, and overall enjoyment for me. The first episode was one of those Adventure Time episodes that's so what the fuck that it's actually kind of distracting. You occasionally get those episodes that are just on such a huge level of WTF that it's hard to think about anything other than how fucking weird it is. And as such, it's just not fun to watch because it's so absolutely just out there that that's all your mind can kind of focus on, the fact that it is out there and weird and just total WTF stuff. Um, so Finn has a toothache because of a cavity. He goes to dentist, like the wording is weird on that, which basically means he's thrown down a well with snakes and rotten butter until he falls into a an ant colony and has to serve the ant colony so they'll fix his teeth. And I don't I don't know. um I don't understand. And then there's Tiffany, who's there and maybe died but probably didn't. And Tiffany's just needlessly aggressive the entire time, and I don't know how to handle this shit. I don't know what to say. I don't know how to handle this shit. It's so insanely out there that it completely throws me off. And I have no idea like what to say. I have no idea like what I even think about the episode because it's just one of those things that throws me off so much that it just kind of warps my mind. Um, I can't particularly say I enjoyed it because I was just so kind of lost the entire time that I don't feel like I really could. I was it was just like going from one WTF moment to the next, and it messed with my head. Um, And then there is the second episode of these two. That one, like I said, these episodes are very kind of diametrically opposed to each other in the fact in their tone, in their style, and in my enjoyment to them. This second one here was exceptionally interesting, had some possible consequences for the future. In fact, I'd even say just straight up definite consequences for the future. And some character development for a couple different characters. So, the Fire Kingdom is starting to go out. The magma beneath U is, well, actually, I think just beneath the Fire Kingdom in general, either way, is starting to cool, and it's causing the citizens of the kingdom who rely on the heat of the magma to survive, it's causing them to start to dim and go out. Flame Princess obviously wants to find the reason for this and fix it, and reluctantly has to call in Princess Bubblegum. Upon arrival, they go through this basically secret hallway that's only known about to the royal family and whatnot. And while in there, Flame Princess starts telling Bubblegum and singing to her about these flame giants, these like titans who have protected the kingdom in the past and all, and are basically the final secret weapon of the kingdom. And so Bubblegum begins to take out their cores one by one while Flame Princess is distracted, but does end up getting caught. And she reveals that she's doing this because she feels that the Flame Kingdom and these titans especially are a threat to her kingdom. And that she's doing it to protect her people. Which it's like, I'm thinking while watching this, it's like, okay, I get where you're coming from, Bonnie, but nothing about this is okay. Like, 100% Bubblegum is the villain of this episode. She is the bad guy here. And it's like she said in the episode, though. She's not necessarily a bad person, but she's very much the bad guy of this episode. She's the villain. She's the antagonist. But she's not a bad person. Her reasonings for doing this are positive. She does want to protect her kingdom, and she does see the Flame Kingdom, or the Fire Kingdom, as a threat because of the past. However, she's also refusing to acknowledge that Flame Princess isn't her father, for one, and that she needs to be given trust and respect in order to run the kingdom her way. And Bonnie is just kind of assuming that everything's going to go the same and that the kingdom is still a massive threat. And it's like, it's a very close-minded way of thinking about this. And it's like, come on, Bubblegum. You're a scientist. You being closed-minded is something you shouldn't be. Like, that kind of goes against your entire thing. But yeah. Bubblegum is definitely in the wrong here. Even if she is doing it for noble intent. The fact is that her actions here, working with the Ice King to cool the magma, is causing the eventual possible deaths of the citizens of this kingdom, who are completely innocent in this regard, and technically might have caused the death already. I'm not sure if that one fire person who was absorbed into the other actually died or how that works, but it's at least a possible equivalent. And it's like, again, I get that she's just trying to help her own kingdom, but causing the possible murders of citizens of another kingdom, I mean, practically in my eyes, that should be a declaration of war. That's horrific. It's legitimately that bad. But at the end, after just calming down and after the two have their fights and just talk for a brief moment, like, they kind of make up. Bubblegum, especially when called a bad person by Phoebe, is really upset by that, and it actually gets to her. So she decides to stand down, let the last Titan that remains, well, remain, and makes up with Phoebe, who tells Bonnie her name at the end. During this fight, the entire thing about surveillance also came up. As we know, Bubblegum watches everyone. Like, this is not news. We saw this just a little bit back in the episode with that I don't remember what his name was, but the guy who had the kids, and he was like this hunter kind of guy who was like hunting down like bad people and everything, and he ended up facing off against Peppermint Butler. I can't remember his name, but we saw Bubblegum spying on people in that very episode. So it's like, we know she does this. This is an active thing we've seen her do. And we see in this episode even that she had been spying on the Fire Kingdom by having a camera literally implanted into Cinnamon Bun, which had been bothering him lately, as we saw with that little like side thing. But after her conversation with Phoebe, and after realizing that she had kind of become the bad guy in this situation, even if her intent was initially good, she went back and she destroyed her surveillance system. She just completely pulled the wires and ended that, putting a lock on that door. And I think that's a really cool bit of character growth we're seeing. Because again, we've seen that she's been doing this and not really thought anything of it. She'll watch people snack and laugh at their shenanigans. But here it's like this event clearly affected her. And she actually started to think about how this was not really okay. She grew from this situation. She understood she was wrong. And it upset her. And so she did what was right and shut down her surveillance. I really like that, actually. Because, yeah, Bubblegum has obviously done some questionable and just plain out wrong things in the past. I would say very few characters in this series could be honestly seen as completely good. And like, the only one I can think of is probably Finn. Like, even Jake has done some questionable things. But Finn is probably the only one who's completely good. Well, maybe Tree Trunks too. Yeah, probably Tree Trunks too. She's so innocent and lovely that it's like, I don't think she's done anything wrong. At least not yet. Not that I can think of, at least. But either way, even though Bubblegum has clearly done some things wrong in the past, it's been very clear that she is a good person and that she tries to do what's best for the people because she cares about them. She cares greatly for them, not just her close friends like Finn or to a degree, Marcy or whatnot. But she does genuinely try to do what she can for everyone in her kingdom, because she does genuinely love them and wants the best for them. She just doesn't always handle that well, and sometimes makes some really bad mistakes. But her intent is always good. But she's realizing how bad some of these things she's been doing is now. And if this is a sign of things to come with her character, just seeing her grow and everything, I am all for it. Because I've stated already that Bubblegum is one of, if not my favorite character. Right up there with the likes of Marcy. Obviously. I mean, that's like, yeah, of course. But seriously, it's like, I love seeing her get to grow and everything. I love seeing like genuine developments happen. Because it excuse me, it makes her and everyone who goes through this kind of stuff feel like actual characters rather than just gags, basically. It makes them feel like real people, and that is what I like about this series. That these characters, yeah, they're often just funny and goofy and played for laughs and all. But then you have stuff when this happens, where it's like, oh yeah, these are people still. And they're going through issues, and they're developing, and they're growing, and they're bettering themselves. And it's awesome to see. So I hope we get to see more of this kind of shit in the future. It's the good shit. It's the stuff I love to see. It's why some of my favorite moments from this series involve Marceline, because she's had a few moments like this. Moments that honestly get me to tear up. Considering her past with Ice King. But yeah, this is the kind of thing I love in this series. Stuff like that. The first of these two episodes, though, a little too random and WTF for me. With Tiffany and the ants and all of that. But the second one was really good, and that's why I wanted to end it there. Because I just felt like that was just so good, and again, has some definite repercussions on the future of the series that I feel like it just needs to be the last episode I do here. So yeah, tell me in the comments below, what did you think of these two episodes of Adventure Time? And like I said before, after the holidays, I'm going to try to get a lot more consistent with uploads. So tell me down below as well, would you like 3-episode videos or 4-episode videos? I'm thinking one of those two. Whichever you think would be better, let me know down below. And for now, I'm Connie and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.